Hi, my name's David Holt and I'm the Metcash Food Safety Program Manager, and today we're going to be looking at the Refss system and how we use the e-logsheet for refrigeration temperature checks and freezer checks. So we're going to go through and we're going to look at our tablet and we're going to choose our e-logsheet for dairy freezer temperature checks. The reason why we're doing this is we need to make sure that the product that needs to be kept at or below 5 degrees is actually being kept at that temperature, and also that the freezer is being kept at or below minus 18 degrees. And we'll explain some of those reasons after. So we go through and we choose our dairy freezer check, and we go through, and you'll do this check for every case that you've set up in your Refss system. You'll need an infrared gun or a similar temperature measuring device. It could be a probe, but something that can measure accurately the temperature of the product in the case. We don't take readings from the dials. The readings from the dials may not be accurate. Those aren't calibrated, but we know that these guns and the probes that we use need to be accurate within plus or minus 1 degree. So the way that we do this is that we go in and we choose our dairy freezer temperature check, we grab our gun and we start moving through the form. The first check there is to choose your name. So go through, put your name in there. If your name's not in the list, then choose other, and then that'll bring up another field for you to type in your name. But my name's in here, so I'm going to go through and I'm going to start my checks. And we go through and we do a temperature check within here. All right, we make sure that that temperature check is what we expect. So it's sitting here at 2.1 degrees, and that's the figure that we put in here into our system, 2.1 degrees. And then we press enter. We move on. There are set rules in the system that tell us what we need to keep temperature below, and they are, in a dairy case, they're at or below 5 degrees and no less than minus 2 degrees. The reasons that is the 5 degree mark is what is there for food safety. For minus 2, it's there for energy efficiency. So although it's not a problem if your dairy case or your chiller case or anything like that is running less than minus 2 degrees, what it's going to do is it's going to affect the quality of your product because it might freeze the product, but it's also going to mean that your fridges are probably running too cold, and you could improve your energy efficiency by increasing those temperatures a little bit. What we don't want is we don't want any food to be kept above 5 degrees. So that's the rules that are set in the system. If you go through and in this tablet, you put something in there that is above 5 degrees, then what it's going to do is it's going to list that there's a problem, and it's going to bring up a corrective action. And what that corrective action is going to be is that you're going to be deciding whether it's going to be a corrective action now or a corrective action later. You might go through and look at your case and identify that it's on defrost, and therefore the product temperature has increased slightly above what you would expect. Now, the corrective action now on that would be that you come back in half an hour and you do another temperature check. So you could save the form and come back. Otherwise, if you can't find a reason as to why that temperature is outside the range or outside the rule that's set within that log sheet, well then you need to do a corrective action later. And that might be that you notify the manager and they've called for a refrigeration mechanic to come out and fix that fridge. So you go through and you make sure, first and foremost, that your temperatures are all within the range, and if they are, you sign off the log sheet, you save that, and then you submit.